Hello everyone, hope you're having a fantastic day, and welcome back to A Wolf in Sheep's Clothing. We're continuing where we left off of, hopefully getting a good ending, but I don't know at this point in time. Both endings might be completely horrible, especially on the grounds that we figure out that Mercredi possibly killed or has killed 2 people now. Whether or not Pascal was murdered by someone else, and it's a mystery we're gonna have to solve, I'm still thinking that it's Noir. Because if you're going to think about investigation-wise, presuming it is the person most likely to be guilty is usually, you know, if you watch old Scooby-Doo mysteries, it's always the person that is the least around. I'm going to still presume it was Noir who killed Pascal, but the main character is guilty of the deer. I'm going to go with that as my theory. So far, I'd say most of my theories have been accurate, at least, or my assumptions, but anyways, we're going to just continue, I guess, where we left off, I guess. Hello, Miss Mercredi. I don't like you, though. You seem to be in a chipper mood, while I feel as though I shouldn't really cling on to things I have no control over. Did you ditch Noir? Oh no, wait, if that's true. After all, I'm not the killer, am I? That fight you and that wolf had gotten into earlier, rather entertaining to watch. Can I break his nose, though? You saw all of that? I hear he's getting a pretty firm talking to by the principal. Really? Well, yes, just about everyone saw what he did to you. I'm sure there'll be headlines about a carnivore hurting a sheep or something. It does make for some fascinating news, does it? It sure does. Well, I'm off. I'll see you both around sometime, probably. Farewell. So you didn't blame me, but just instantly assumes that's him? How many keys? 104? Why would I really know the answer to this? They don't know in general. Well, I still want to go with all right answers, but I don't think, as the developer had said, these won't matter to the endings, but I still want to be right. I mean, it'll also be a lesson for you guys, like random trivia, let's say. The answer is 88. 88 is such a strange number. Why 88 specifically? I find it funny, no one really understands the thought process behind that. It has the widest range of notes any instrument ever, but why? What tuning is a cello in? That's a ukulele. I've never heard or seen someone play a cello before. So if I hit this one, that is they know it's a ukulele, but if I pick this one or this one... But the other two aren't viable options. A is the tuning of a violin, and B is the tuning of a ukulele. I find it strange all 3 of them are instruments with only 4 strings yet. Well, frankly, the cello is so different from them. It's a deep pitch, yet strings that are tuned in perfect fifths. Maybe there's just more to the cello than meets the eye. When was the omnichord invented? Alright, well, I'm looking that one up. Supposedly 1980s. I think that's about right. It's a pretty old instrument, but I don't believe it's really that old. Plus, I'm pretty sure synth music, like what the omnichord can produce, was rather popular in the 80s. You think I'm an idiot? Yes, I do. Well, why? If you don't even know why you're stupid, that proves my point even more. You're just mad because you think I'm dating Cosette, aren't you? No. Mercredi, I don't like her like that. I'm, not even into... Well, I'll let you fill in the blank. He's not into herbivores. But you're always hanging out around her. She's my friend. How do I know you're not lying to get me off your back? Mercredi, you're being unreasonable. I'm not being unreasonable. He stared at me blankly. I could see him trying to process everything. I mean, sure, he might be dumb, but I mean, you don't treat dumb people as if... Like, I have the phrase that might sound mean, but I think it's, legit. Like, if you have this person who is, let's say they're a verifiable idiot. Let's say that someone is just really dense. I frankly don't care if someone is dumb. I don't care if someone is the smartest person in the room. I don't care if someone's the dumbest or the smartest or the fattest. I don't care what a person is, so as long as they're not, like, a toxic piece of shit. That is how I work with everyone. Like, I don't care about people's gender or sexuality or whatever about them. What matters is their social cues, you know, your mannerisms. Do you give off positive energy or do you give off toxic energy? And if you're a toxic person, I want nothing to do with you. So this ferret could be dumb. I wouldn't care. As long as he's nice or treats me kindly and has never done anything wrong to me, my motto is treat people, you know, either with neutrality or treat them nicely, no matter who they are, until they fuck with you. That's usually my motto in life. So I wouldn't care if the ferret is dumb. I just don't care. It's just whoever messes with you, no? Did I scare you? Are you scared of a fucking herbivore? Well, it depends on how many people see your fangs, man. Every thought I ever had left my brain. I leapt on him and bit down on his neck as hard as I could. No! I heard a small yelp, but he was surprisingly quiet for such a violent outburst. I didn't realize it, but I had knocked him to the ground. Mercredi. Bit but didn't kill, right? Oh. Noir finished him off after smelling the blood. Aru? Whoa, Mercredi, are you okay? What? You were zoning out. You looked like a machine that had just been turned off. I'm just in my own head thinking. About what? Are you thinking about that bunny girl? No. You should have just said yes. I'm thinking about the murder that happened recently. Right. It's rather scary when something like that occurs. Wait a second. Just gotta be careful. My feet can actually poke my webcam and make the cable move, and I don't want that happening during a recording. Cause like imagine like when my webcam moves and I'm just completely off screen for a while. That'd annoy me. It's rather scary when something like that occurs, particularly if you're of a herbivore breed. Oh. And if you're a runt like Noir here, are you worried about being hunted like Pascal and, Pascal, Mercredi? We'd say yes for believability, I guess. Very. I am too. Especially due to the fact that I'm often told I run my mouth quite a bit. And yes, you do. Well, people aren't exactly wrong when they tell you that. Oh, I'm aware. It's just anxiety-inducing now. What if a carnivore decides they've had enough of me talking? Shifty eyes. Stares at Noir. They've handled it, you know, so far, apparently. What, like me? That would be pretty horrible for you, wouldn't it? It would. Well, me and Noir will be going now once again, skipping class. Yes, we pulled up an all-nighter, so we're pretty exhausted with school today. An all-nighter, huh? Chicka-wow-wow? Right, have fun. We will. I watched as they wander off, interlocking their arms. A herbivore and carnivore. I always thought it was a bad thing. They seem to enjoy one another, though. Maybe every interspecies relationship isn't like mamas and papas. No, I mean, you could be a herbivore who's manipulative, or a carnivore who's manipulative. A carnivore probably just doesn't see the point of being manipulative, really. Mercredi. Cosette? I feel her tightly wrap her arms around my waist, her chubby face nuzzling into my chest. Nervously, I pat her head. What's the matter? I'm really sorry about what I said earlier. What? I was thinking about it, and I should always be your friend no matter what. So what if you're a big scary carnivore? I made a promise, and I'm not going to break it over something as silly as that. Cosette, you're too kind. I'm really not. It's just what you deserve as my friend. Cosette. Yeah? Oh. Bottom one's bad. Would you ever want to be more than friends? I'm sorry, that slipped out. That wasn't me. Mercredi. Seriously, I had no control over that. Well, if I'm being honest, I did like you a lot. Oh no. But I just think I need to process the carnivore thing, you know? Yeah, I know. But hey, she grabbed one of my hands, having to use both of hers just to hold my palm. Never say never, okay? Alright. If only I were a real herbivore, huh? Don't think that kind of stuff. Sorry, I said that out loud? Yeah. I apologize, I don't know what's wrong with me. Well, I have to head home now. I'll see you soon, alright? Alright. Bye. Need more breathing. I wave one final goodbye to Cosette. Her whole body moves as she waves back, standing on her tippy toes. Well, I guess she's in better spirits then. A small, delicate, fragile. Everything a herbivore should be. It's what I should be. It's fine. I don't think anyone, especially me, could ever be as perfect as her. You're home. Hello, Papa. It's good to see you. How was school? It was fine. There were a lot of police around. Right. Pascal was your friend, right? It's been all over the news. How have you been managing? I've been okay. Just slightly overwhelming seeing officers roam everywhere around school. Yes, I understand. Well, get some rest. I'm sure after you rest you'll feel better in the morning. Yeah, you're right, thank you. No one knows that I killed him. Well, except for Pierre, but he's such a madman I don't think anyone will believe him. God damn it, they're just openly saying it! So much for my theory. I thought you just bit him, but then stopped to make it so it'd be like, you know, what they do in writing of subversion of expectations. Making it so it seems like it'd be obvious that'd be them, but then just wasn't. I don't think anyone will believe him. Who's going to believe him over me, the herbivore? So it is. Then she really has become basically Melon. Beastar's. What should I say? Beastar's story? Beastar's character? Beastar's character, basically. I toss my body onto the bed, warm, soft, my body sinks into the mattress. The bed would only be better if Cosette were in it with me. Well, she likes you, or the bunny can like you for being, you know, for being friend, but I don't know if she'd accept you for being a, you know, a multi-murdering, crazed lunatic, you know? But, again, Melon. What, you fucking crybaby? Why? What are you going to do? Oh, like it matters to you. What if I tell you I'm going to eat you, huh? You wouldn't do that, you're a herbivore. God, you don't fucking get it, do you? I'm not a herbivore. I'm just like you. Don't you ever crave for the flesh of others? No, not at all. What the hell's wrong with you? Liar, you're just a goddamn liar. I ripped him apart in ways I didn't even understand, throat first so he wouldn't scream. I hated him so much words couldn't even begin to define my pure disdain. You hated him more than you hated the annoying fucking sheep guy, Oriel? Seriously? So maybe my actions of tearing him to bits would be enough. I stand up, I wipe the drool and blood off my mouth. God damn it. He was gone. Finally, I didn't have to deal with him anymore, and I was glad. It taught me something important, however. The meat of a man doesn't taste very good. But how about how the blood would splurt out from his heart racing? If only you were a woman, Pascal. God damn it! It's going in worse directions. I can't see happy endings now. It's just inevitable means that even Papa is going to be disappointed, because then it just means everything he tried to do to make it so his wife, or I can't even say wife, John's rapist herbivore, that she basically gets the final laugh at the end, if that's like the whole end of it, ends horribly. September 6th. I understand why Papa isn't a big fan of Tuesdays now. After hearing everything she did, I'm not sure if I can fully enjoy today. Am I as bad as she is? Yeah, you're questionably worse. Are my actions just as cruel? One could say she took the life of Papa even though she created life. She used him, she forced him to be with me, and she caused such a horrible domino effect. I'm the only person he has left, and I feel as though he'll be all I'll have too. Papa is nowhere in the kitchen. What should I do? Check the living room. Papa? Ah. He was sat on the couch, mindlessly watching TV with various snacks in front of him. He patted the cushion next to him. I sat down, hands folded on my lap. Are you okay? I'll be okay. Martis are always hard for me? I'm gonna assume it's a Tuesdays. I'm sorry, Papa. You probably hate when it's a Mercredi too, don't you? Which people have been non-stop telling me it's fucking Wednesday. I felt him pinch my cheek, his whole hand the size of my face. He wiggled what little meat I had on my cheekbone around. Mercredi is my favorite day. Yeah, right, old man. It's true. I couldn't hate a day of the week that shares the same name as my daughter. I'm sorry, Papa. For what? Being here? Mama hurt you I'm just a product of that. I'm sorry, I can't imagine how much it must hurt you to just know that I'm alive, let alone live in the same building as me and provide for me. You're not your mother, I made sure of that. You have never and can never hurt me like that. I don't want to see Papa being hurt, man. You're one of the few things I have left. I don't want to lose you. I know, Papa, I love you too. He grabbed my upper arm with his hand, pulling me in for a side hug. I felt his chin tremble as he rested his head on top of mine. I reached a hand around and scratched the top of his head. You won't ever lose me, Papa, I promise. That's a bad promise. Thank you. Well, you should get it going. Yes, I should. Bye-bye. I don't like seeing Papa. He's innocent in all of this. I hope Papa feels better. I don't like to see him so upset. I know I shouldn't, but I worry about him sometimes. I'm guessing she's going to be killing then Pierre next. Because if the dreams are anything to, foreshadow anything... But I don't know, the bunny was in there too, man. I think he has such a big heart, he feels too much. There are even more officers here than yesterday. Hello there, little lady. Oh, it's Eddie. From John's dream. Hello, sir. You're Mercredi Mort, correct? Yeah, why? Have you not heard your friend, Oh god. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce, but... Who was that again? He passed away recently. A very brutal murder. Oh, Pascal. Ah, is that what his friends would call him? Yes, sir. Well, I don't know if this would be a time to be smiling. Well, since you seem to be pretty close to him, we'll have to take you into the station for investigation. Please don't look so scared. You're not in trouble, ma'am. I don't think a lamb like you could hurt a fly. You just might have some information that could really help us out. Would you be willing to offer that help? Do I really have a choice, officer? Officer... I'm calling you Eddie, man. But you do have a choice. If it makes you feel any better, we're questioning other students. Cosette and Pierre in particular. I know them. Are they your friends as well? Well, you know what, I'll answer your questions, officer. Despite being a sheep, she looks very intimidating. I hear her adoptive father is a carnivore. Maybe it's something to do with that. Alright, little lady. I just have to ask a few questions, okay? I understand. I could get entangled in something. I mean... do you know anyone who would want to hurt? Pierre. What makes you say that? I wasn't very close to either in these recent high school years, but from what I know, they were close. However, Pascal mentioned to me that Pierre was pretty violent. And I'm not sure if you heard, but Pierre did pin me down. I think he was going to fight me. Well, that's fascinating. Being raised by a wolf, I never thought they could be so violent. Well, Pierre is a red-maned wolf. I'm not sure they're really similar besides the name. I doubt that. Why? Pierre, I don't like him, but he acts a lot like... my papa. Hey! What? Is your father violent? No, not that part. Just his demeanor. Ah, right. I take it you get along with most canines well, with your caretaker being a wolf. I suppose so, I don't mind them. Well, I hope me being a big Malamute doesn't scare you. Malamutes. Oh, fluffy. It doesn't, officer. Alright, next question. How did you know him? We met when I was about 13. Who introduced you to each other? Cosette did. I didn't really like him. He and Cosette got along well, but he was very different from me. How so? He was just very talkative, short attention span, tended to flaunt things. Not that I mind that now, but as a kid it was upsetting. Papa didn't have a lot of money, he still doesn't. So to see another herbivore that had a parent that could provide is frustrating, upsetting even. Have you ever met someone who just had everything you ever wanted? Maybe a time or two. I'm definitely jealous of someone who doesn't have a job as gruesome as this. Right. Shouldn't seem to appreciate that very much. So, Miss Mort, were you two only closest children? No. Well, can you elaborate? Oh, yes. I suppose I was only friends with him because Cosette was. She's been my friend for as long as I can remember, and I don't think that will ever change anytime soon. Any idea why Cosette got along with him and you didn't? I think she's a very likable person. I'm sure once you talk to her, you'll understand what I mean. Alright, next question. When did you last see him? I tilt my head as I watch her think for a minute. Friday the 2nd? Why are you unsure? I was kind of stressed. I had a bad dream, and Saturday was going to be a pretty big day. What was going to happen on Saturday? Nothing bad, just a day at Cossette's. Well, if you saw him on the 2nd, that was the day he was murdered. Do you have an alibi at all? I was at school all day. Pierre and Auriel and Noor can attest to that. Auriel and Noor? They're 2 students at the school. Do you know their last names? No, why would I? She knows them well enough for an alibi. She knows them well enough for an alibi, but doesn't know their last names. It depends if it all comes out that both of them were just like a symbolic nature of 2 people in their heads and that both of them never existed to begin with. Who knows? And that's just a random theory I'm throwing out there. Could be wrong, just like my last one. Well, if you don't have an alibi, we do have to keep you until we believe you're not the culprit. I'm a sheep! I didn't expect a lamb like her to be capable of yelling so hard. I know, Miss Mort, but it's just the rules. I don't think you're responsible. We just don't have anything proving otherwise. Fine, but I have a life, you know. I know that. Well, that's all the questions I had to ask you, Miss Mort. Alright. We'll still be keeping you here, hopefully not for long. We'll have more questions to ask you. Understood. Eddie, there's the big guy I've been looking for. Hello, Francois. How'd the interview with the sheep go? Not sure, she's strange, maybe a little paranoid, but I suppose it's a high-stress situation. Well, don't trust her. That girl could be an accomplice. You think a little lamb like her could help in something like that? Wouldn't put it past her. We've seen stranger things happen in this dump, haven't we? That's a good point. Anyhow, you gotta go and interview that wolf kid now. Am I gonna have to interview everybody? Yep, this case is pretty much gonna fall on your hands. Most of these kids have some connection to wolves, right? And you're just about the closest thing we got. That Mercredi kid was adopted by a wolf, Pierre is a wolf, and those kids Mercredi mentioned, Auriel and Noir? Yeah, Auriel is a sheep and Noir is a wolf. Apparently those 2 hang out a lot. Auriel is an uncommon name, so we tracked down the kid pretty quickly. They've been posting pictures with Noir for a few days now. Huh, that's odd. Exactly. That's why you're on the case, big guy. Now get on with the interview for Pierre. Alright. I slowly inch my way into the interrogation room, looking around anxiously. With a deep breath, I sit down in the chair. Hello, sir. Hello there. I just have to ask you a few questions, alright? We're just gonna go with Pierre. Of course. He's way more behaved than I would expect. How did you know Pascal? I met him at school, and that was it? Well, I would see him around town, but I was always a little too skittish to talk to him. I know I'm pretty lanky myself, but considering I'm a bit stronger and bigger than him, I was worried I would scare him off. He was pretty much bone. He was just pretty much bone. Every time I saw him, I wanted to protect him as much as I could. I would always think about how fragile he looked, and I failed at protecting him. Well, buddy, it's not your job to protect him, it's ours. Looks like we're both just a bunch of failures, aren't we? Let's get back on the topic, kid. How did you know him? I told you, school. I saw him around town prior, but never talked to him until he talked to me at school. Right, noted. Alright, next question. When did you see him last? I saw him wandering the halls on the 2nd, but I hadn't talked to him since the first day of school. I think that student, Auriel, told him something about me being violent, or something to do with my previous experience at school? I'm not sure. But he avoided me very heavily. If he trusted me, I could have, maybe could have saved him. But now he's gone permanently. And it's all because of Mercredi. Do you think she feels pity, sir? I don't sound so unsure. I don't think she feels any remorse for anything she does. She's such a sick individual. I really hope you can see past her species and see the absolute monster within her. Anyway, I'm supposed to be asking the questions. Right, sorry, sir. Did you say Auriel? Yes, sir. Miss Mort mentioned Auriel as well, mentioned them as an alibi. Of course, those 2 probably have some mutual scheme against me. Jeez, I've never met a kid so paranoid. Alright, next question. Do you know anyone who would want to hurt Pascal? Mercredi. He answered me before I even finished my question. Alright, Mr. Pierre, what makes you say that? She's evil, sir, pure evil, and the last school we went to there was a murderer. You don't think that could have been a coincidence? No. He slammed his fist on the table, shaking everything for a moment. There's no need to be so upset, sir. With all due respect, I have every fucking right to be upset right now. I'm not saying you don't have the right to be upset, you just please try to keep an even head. Fine. But you need to keep an eye on her. She's not what she says she is. She's not what you'd expect her to be. Alright, I understand. Why do you think that, though? She said you saw her when Pascal was murdered. Great, another fucking lie from her. Was she at school? Yes. However, that's where Pascal was murdered, if you were unaware. I'm aware. My point is, there was a huge chunk of the day where I didn't have any contact with her, somewhere around the estimated time of death of Pascal too. Think about it, Pascal and Anna were murdered the same exact way, eaten, and the only connection between these two cases is her. And you. Canines do have a higher crime rate. I mean, have you ever heard of a sheep committing a crime? You're a canine, sir. A sheep did commit these crimes. What can't you understand about it? Goodness gracious. Well, that's all I had to ask for today, Pierre. Right. Bye, kiddo. Thank you for the help. Yes, sir, of course. Curious about what has happened if I said yes, but that Pierre kid's a real paranoid freak. You're telling me. I bet he's the weirdo who did it. I can't really say I disagree with you, friend. Well, no time for that. You gotta talk to the bunny now. Oh god, don't you think she'll be terrified of someone like me? Definitely. But hey, maybe that'll be how we get information out of her, a big scary guy like you. I'd tell you anything you'd ask me to tell you. Alright, Francois. Oh, I'm gonna need a drink. I move carefully, trying not to scare the little rabbit in front of me. With a deep breath, I sit down in the chair. Aw, not the nosebleed again. Hello, little Miss Thing? Hello, sir. Oh my goodness, are you bleeding? Yes, but it's okay, I just have a high blood pressure. Looking closely, I can see her entire body shaking as she breathes heavily. I can practically see her heart beating out of her chest. Blindfold her eyes, quickly! Well, there's no need to be so scared. When I say blindfold, I mean like what I said with baby rabbits needing to cover their eyes so their hearts don't explode. There's no need to be so scared. I slide over a tissue box we had on the table. Thank you, officer. She stands up and wipes her nose for a few seconds. She throws the tissues into the trash can before sitting back down. Okay, sir, I am ready, sir. How did you know Pierre? Oh, I met him in middle school. I was, I think, 13, and he was about 11. Oh, you're 19? Yes. I'm very behind in school. I have ADD as well as a huge family to worry about. It's a struggle, but my parents pay good money for me to try and learn. Of course, my mom tends to ruin my education by constantly calling me for help around the house. Sounds like a real pain. It really is. What was I talking about? How you met Pascal? Oh, right. He was way smarter than I was, even though he was younger. He was a fun guy, but he also helped me with school a lot. He held me down, you know? He always kept me on track, is what I'm trying to say. I have someone like that in my life. Exactly. So I've known him for a few years. We were pretty close ever since we met. Hung out every day since. And we've always gone to the same school. Well, I mean, ever since we became friends, of course. Was it a coincidence or a choice? Choice. We didn't want to be separated. I don't think I could have handled being separated from him. Because he helped you academically? Yeah, and he was a really good friend too. Alright, next question. Do you know anyone who would want to hurt him? I don't think I do. He's super sweet. Surely there has to be someone. Well, maybe Pierre. But I'm probably just saying that because he scares me. I know Pascal and Mercredi didn't always get along, but I don't think she could kill someone. Any clues to why those two didn't get along? No? My only guess is Mercredi was jealous since our dads kind of forced us to be friends ever since we were little. Forced? Do you not want to be friends with Miss Mort? No. I do. We've just been raised around each other since we were babies. But yeah, I don't know. I think she just didn't like the idea of me being best friends with anyone else but her. That's a bit troublesome, don't you think? Sort of? I don't know. It's a lot more complicated than you'd think, sir. Well, can you at least try to explain? I don't know. She never really emoted much. She still doesn't, but there are certain things she takes to extremes. One time she ripped her horns off when we were just kids. I don't have a problem with the fact that she did that, but there were safer ways. She was just so frustrated at the time. I think she had to do something about it and fast. Right. Alright, next question. When did you last see him? The first, I think. Maybe the second in the morning. I see, so your memory isn't the greatest? No, not at all, sir. Well, alright. Do you know of anybody who could have seen him last? No, sir. Either Mercredi or Pierre, I guess. Alright. So basically gonna make it so it's a
whether or not we get blamed, rightfully so, or it goes on Pierre, who's innocent. Honestly, at this point, I'd rather see Mercredi than go to prison for what they deserve. I wouldn't be like, my love of wanting to see Bunny be happy does not override the fact that the main character is a sociopath. That's all I had to ask for now, Cosette. Okay, sir. You did a great job. Thank you for the help, little lady. Anytime. Oh boy. After about an hour of sitting in this cold room, Officer Eddie finally came back in. Alright, Miss Mort. We're holding off questioning for the rest of the day. We both have more important matters. Alright, thank you, sir. But I think I'm going to leave it there. It's been 30 minutes. Oh, and I'm getting hungry. And not for ferret meat or lamb or deer or venison, but maybe some chicken and rice, who knows. I got some Chinese food I gotta eat still. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed and look forward to more. I was thinking the game was going to wrap up, but in fact, going into a new arc of questioning, I guess, an investigation mode. Perhaps this is like, it's clear we already went through the climax, and this is after the climax, and it's just unwinding to see, I guess, if I'm right at least with this theory, because I've been wrong a few times now. But that's good. If I can theorize a story and how it's written, and I'm wrong, I can appreciate that more, because there's nothing I hate more than watching something and then predicting and like making 5 theories or 10 theories and then all of them being right. So the fact that I would theorize a subversion of expectation even and be wrong, I can appreciate that, because I hate always being right. It's a really annoying feeling. So I like when I'm wrong. It's very refreshing. Very refreshing, so I can appreciate it. But either way, I hope you enjoyed and look forward to more as we continue to wrap up the story and what's going to happen. But as I've said, I'd want Mercredi to basically serve justice, because I'm also a very strong justice kind of person. I want anyone who does wrongdoing, I absolutely believe karma and consequences and punishment always needs to happen. Consequences always needs to happen. And Mercredi has obviously gotten away, or tries to get away, multiple times. And I don't like the fact that at the end of it, she's basically going to be hurting her dad by just her being a loose cannon, you know? The dad John doesn't deserve any of this shit. He's just a nice wolf guy, and his life's been shit, and I feel really bad for the dad. So, it hurts. But otherwise, I hope you've been enjoying, and if you have, please leave a like, comment, hit the subscribe button to become a Fluff subscriber, hit the notification down below for updates of my videos. Thank you for watching, until the next time.